Hello and welcome to the Rested podcast, where we explore travel time rather than destinations and the joys and surprises of shared transport. For many, travelling on buses, boats and trains is now a lifestyle choice. My name's Mark Selby. I love the theatre of travel, discovering the stories of journeys and learning how people use their travel time. This week, the trains were delayed by a severe storm. At the railway station, Andrew, on the ticket barrier, was giving a masterful demonstration of multitasking as regular commuters flowed through the barriers. Others had bussed from a nearby station on a different line with serious flooding and sought Andrew's guidance on their respective travels. Infrequent travellers were bemused by the user interface on automatic ticket machines and sought Andrew's help to get their tickets. The gents' toilet was out of action, so Andrew was handing out and collecting the single disabled toilet key to gents in need. Then one of the ticket barriers stopped working, requiring Andrew's intervention and on-the-spot maintenance. He remained a beacon of calm, greeting regulars whilst helping and reassuring the confused and anxious. I watched this from the station lobby. Passing through the barrier, I then got Andrew's perspective. The faces and behaviour of travellers were intriguing. Some struggled with the way to scan a QR code on their phone. Others treated printed tickets as contactless cards, tapping the top of the barrier rather than pushing them into the ticket reader. One young man arrived with a clutch of tickets, but had forgotten his glasses and kept putting the wrong tickets into the reader. Andrew helped him through, as he did with everyone else. Only one person expressed anger, claiming her London train was imminent. Andrew let her through and politely explained the train was delayed by 10 minutes. Whereupon she vented her spleen as if he was personally responsible for the delay. Andrew smiled and helped a multi-generational family get through. A lady in a motorised wheelchair came through to collect spare copies of the free daily newspaper to give to residents in a nearby nursing home. Andrew explained she did this every weekday morning. In a brief pause, Andrew, who's worked on the railways for over 30 years, told me that if he didn't try to help, remain calm and smile, his job would be wretched. I could understand why. On my delayed train, the mood was relaxed and stoic. The guard apologised for the delay, advised us of a diversion to avoid 2 flooded stations, and gave other options if anyone planned to disembark there. She gave us updates as she received them, answered passengers' questions, and then made the priceless announcement of apologising for her apologies. It's too easy to take these members of staff for granted. Seeing them deliver engaging service is a handy reminder of the value of human interaction over automation. Well-designed technology helps people to deliver better services, but in face-to-face encounters, it can be a poor substitute. Self-service checkouts in retail stores with high footfall and low-value purchases may make sense, but using them in other stores can negatively impact customer engagement and have unintended consequences. The retailer Marks & Spencer went down this path, then discovered a problem. Their chairman said, "With the reduction of service you get in a lot of shops, a lot of people think this didn't scan properly, or it's very difficult to scan these things through, and I shop here all the time. It's not my fault, I'm owed it." They've unintentionally created new middle-class shoplifters. It's too easy to criticise those struggling to use technology, suggesting they're the problem. They're not. The technology is poorly designed. It's easy to make things hard, but hard to make them easy. If only companies would invest more in improving the customer experience and engagement, rather than on marketing campaigns to acquire new customers. The cost of selling to a new customer is 5 to 7 times higher than selling to an existing loyal one. Many retail checkout staff are trained to show an interest in what customers buy. One was enthusiastically using her training when I bought a very basic toilet brush and stand. It was my only purchase, but the lady made a point of commenting on what a nice brush it was. I had to chuckle, but it was appreciated, and I've bought more from that store since. Why do we just take people like those staff for granted? Are we cocooned in our own lives and oblivious to others, or consciously ignoring them through lack of interest? These staff aren't responsible for delayed trains and buses, but they bear the brunt of passenger frustrations and deal with them as best they can. Overall, they do remarkably well. If you haven't read the book Humankind by Rutger Bregman, please do. It's entertaining and uplifting, demonstrating the genuine decency of people. I'm certain you'll enjoy it and view others differently. As one reviewer wrote, in the book, Bregman systematically deconstructs famous psychology experiments that hint at the depravity of human badness. It's not a self-help book. It simply shatters many of our misconceptions of human nature. Rutger quotes a British study that found a vast majority of the population, 74%, identify more closely with values such as helpfulness, honesty, and justice than with wealth, status, and power. But an even larger proportion, 78%, think others are more self-interested than they really are. It's sad that we misjudge others so badly. On a personal note, I started the Rested podcasts hoping to show listeners there are better alternatives to driving everywhere in our cars. I've learned a lot from preparing these episodes, exploring public and shared transport for myself and hearing the stories of your experiences. I've met some fascinating people, had wonderful conversations, and have learnt so much. I've discovered places and seen things that I was blissfully unaware of whilst driving. This week, I finally said goodbye to my trusty 20-year-old Volvo convertible and have embraced the new travel lifestyle. I'm walking more, saving money, and I'm thankful that I'm making a small difference to improving life for myself and others. My research for these episodes has genuinely shocked me. Having spent most of my career working in the technology sector, I've always been drawn to how technology can improve our lives. It can, and often does, but blindly creating solutions, then creating the problems they're supposed to solve, is putting the cart in front of the horse. Sadly, it happens too often, with nonsensical claims. We've discussed one such example, autonomous vehicles, in the past. Smart marketing, fueled by investors adopting the migrating habits of lemmings, charging this way then that in herds, potentially to the cliff edge, easily create more problems than they solve. We were sold on the freedom and independence that cars would provide. They remain necessary in areas that have little or no alternative transport options. But the damage they've caused can't be ignored. City centres and communities have been destroyed to make way for cars. People have been forced to live in suburbs poorly served by public transport, resulting in the need for cars. It feels like engineered addiction. And it's not just an historic problem. Road deaths are increasing. Congestion is insane, yet still we see ads for cars on empty roads. The automotive industry keeps promoting the number of jobs they create, then show us the factories where assembly is done by robots. I could go on, but I won't today. Let's be aware of the misconceptions we've mistakenly bought into. Fortunately, there's a lot of good out there. Your stories of the acts of kindness of others, the help you've been given, and the people you've met are inspiring. Your chances of having these encounters increase when you're in the company of others. And strangers are just like us. Returning to this week's delayed journey, I was meeting with Mel and Mike. We all had delays and diversions, but Mel chaired a board meeting in the morning, then caught a bus, and Mike entered the afternoon catching a train to his board meeting. Collectively, over the day, we took buses, trains, and Uber and hitched a lift. On our journeys, we had productive meetings, met business people, artisans, carers, students, and that included a retired, very smart teacher returning from one of her U3A, that's University of the Third Age, classes. There was no evidence to suggest that any of them didn't identify with the values of helpfulness, honesty, and justice. I hope you explore this new lifestyle too and enjoy it. And don't forget to acknowledge the staff that are helping you. Thanks for listening to the Rested podcast. Please subscribe for details of new episodes and tell your friends. I look forward to reading and sharing your travel stories. Please email restedpodcast@gmail.com. And my thanks to everyone that has contributed to Rested so far. Enjoy your travel time.